the realization I had is that it's all about making it norm, whatever it is that we want. Yes, thank God it just came back. I'm looking at it in my own life, literally from the way how the birth of this project, Born Philosophers Radio, and oh boy, like how many things like I had to work through. Like it was another shadow work, like to be able to see that I was living others' projection, right? We carry others' projections with us as if it's our own, and it's like hurting us. It's like carrying, it's like literally, you know, um, yeah, by choice, willingly carrying a burden or what others, whether it's intentionally or, not, they threw their poisons on us through their words, right? Either way, because we have not filtered out what we truly are, right? It's only when you know yourself that you're able to, brush off others' opinion or unnecessary criticisms, right? I would just doesn't even bother me. Why should it bother me? I know myself. I know what I'm coming from, right? So it's all about making that thing that you say you want your norm, and it's no longer in a wanting stage when that happens, or it becomes your air. So it's like whatever it is, you are able to be part of it based on where you're at, right? I am in a perfect place to be able to write, to be able to do, to be able to design, to be able to do whatever it is that I claim that I am. Now, does that mean am I in a perfect place for it? No, it can grow, and it is going to grow. It must grow, shall grow. That's the only way. Whatever it is you cultivate, it must grow. Ask, you shall receive. That's just the law. I didn't make it up. It's just a law, right? But yeah, it's a lot of process, right? And the road to know thyself is not simple. There's a lot that you need to rid of, especially in fear and self-doubt. Fear and self-doubt is like the enemy of a human being. Fear and self-doubt. And what makes it worse is it lives within us. It comes from us. That nothing that comes from outside of ourselves can hurt us as much as we hurt ourselves. Right? So like when we are carrying others' projection because we are willingly agreeing with it, that's why we are entertaining it. Although it's irritating us, although it's disagreeing with our body, with every fiber in our bone, you continue to carry it. It's like fighting for their projections when they're not even there. They're not even thinking about you. But here you are, years later, still carrying. That's literally what I learned about my Born Philosophers Radio journey. When it started, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even a shy person. Why is it that I don't want to do videos? Like, I was already like fighting the idea of starting this YouTube project, it seems. Right? Because I was like staying in just, I guess you can call it one track minded, right? I'm a writer. The way I write is like I usually record myself, right? That's how I learned. I started to hear myself. That's how I was able to discover my tool, right? This connection I have with the universe. But I had to learn that there's going to be evolution in every project, right? Like, I'm a writer of self-help. Okay, now I'm grown to what? Like, oh, a novel writing. Oh, psychology thriller writing. Now I'm like attending a script school, right? Like, learn about character building and such, right? Like, at first, like, how scary it was to even think about this, right? Now it's like, oh, it has become my norm, right? But towards my last year of my psych school, was like, how is it gonna be possible, right? It only makes sense for me to go ahead and get my clinical psychology degree and be a therapist and, you know, get my master's. And yeah, it didn't make sense to my ego to not continue to get my master's and attend a script school, go to right? But it was all about the excitement, right? Does it keep you alive? Is it fun, right? Is it pulling you, right? The road of therapist, it was not, especially like my last semester. There was a lot of one-on-one, like almost you can call it hands-on exercises that we need to do, and then I just stopped, and it's like, oh my God, do I really want to know like the weirdest, ugliest, darkest secrets of human being for a living? And I said, no, hell no. I want to imagine based on my interest and fucking write about it. My interest is it is my passion to watch psychology, thriller movies, right? Scary movies. That's just my genre. That's my favorite. Right? That's what relaxes me. Scary movies, you know? Like, I stopped watching stupid horror now because my subconscious doesn't filter, right? It takes everything seriously. But, anyways, the point is, like, following it. When it becomes your norm, the more, like, you get to know yourself, the things that comes from inside of you are going to become easier and easier to digest. So, like, because you are healing, the process of wanting to me is how God talks to us. I feel like that's basically like the Wi-Fi, the connection to God. Without wanting, you're dead. Like, I love Buddhism, the whole idea of it, but I don't understand. Stop wanting and life is suffering. No, I feel like life is not suffering. God, no. What about all the flowers? Right? And what I want should fascinate me, not hurt me. But that's what I was taught. That's the practice I had since a young age, right? Because parents give birth just to give birth, not because they can afford it, not because they can lead a proper, not because they have prepared a proper place to raise a child. No, people just give birth just to give birth. What was it? What Maya Angelou said? And they think they already figured it out, and they even dare to have children. Yeah, I'm like her with this subject, right? So it's like, our wanting, the feeling of our true wantings from a young age are associated to a negative feedback neurological pattern, basically. Right? Money doesn't come for free. Don't you know how to work? You can't get that. And as a child, you can't understand that. Like, it doesn't make sense to you. You're allergic because our true self knows we can have whatever it is that we want. And we were able to do that, right? For the first year, or before we were able to walk. After, age 3, you start to communicate, and it's like, now you're told, you're processing no already. And this is what we don't understand. We are already starting being a human at that age. So that is the most, like, protective age, but we don't take it seriously. That's why history is repeating itself, and they know that whoever it is ruling the world that is doing on the evil side are doing a very good job, right? Making sure that you can survive, right? Just let them reproduce. It's easier to control, when they're busy, they're stressed. They're handing these children to us anyways. They're not even their children, because you're handing your children to to daycare like at early as 3 months. It's like, what's the point of giving birth? It's like, you're not even enjoying motherhood, right? But we have been brainwashed to think that giving birth is being a mother. No, that is just your fucking biology. A woman body is created to do that. A male body has its purpose. A woman body has its purpose. There's nothing you fucking do in your when during pregnancy. So I don't understand this whole accolades and accomplishment feeling coming from just because you gave birth. Wanting to be a mother and having a beautiful child to earth, a very healthy, yeah. Appreciating, thanking God, yes, you gave me this. Now let me cherish this gift. That's not what you're doing. You're just giving birth to keep this man, to feel normal, to be like them, to conform. You have, but my generation got no fucking business of being a mother. I'm sorry to say that. You're 23 years old and you are at a job and what? Anyways, this is a sensitive subject for me. The point is actually, we're talking about normalizing the frequency of our wanting, right? From that age, because, again, the reason why I mentioned what I mentioned, you are not welcomed properly, right? So wanting is a very tricky relationship you have, and I'm sorry, I can't be one of you now, I've healed myself, but I feel like it's a continuous growth. But at least I understand the basic, I accept it, right? You have to accept it to work on it. And when you start to normalize it, you're wanting, right? Stop us with like understanding how your childhood was, and when you stopped wanting, right? Like, you have to heal yourself. No one is gonna do the job, right? That's it. You're strong enough. You're capable of doing it. That's why you're here. That's why you're created the way you're created, right? This intelligent power created us to be the best of the best in his image, right? Even if you don't believe in the Bible, look at creation. When I look at creation, like, my God, I feel amazing, right? I look at this gorgeous flower and it's like, what created that flower created me, so I must be gorgeous. Like, this creator must be gorgeous. Look at his creation. I'm part of his creation. I'm part of this big thing. That's enough for me to stay interested in life as I keep going and working what I want. But that should be enough to kill boredom, right? Because boredom is a very, very dangerous neurological pattern that they teach us to have a relationship with, starting at a very, very young age. That is being developed. And you start to tolerate reaching limits and not even, having one. Just conforming, it becomes easier to influence you into that world. Because you're not created to be bored. The majority of your life, you're supposed to have fun, play, genuinely be in a good relationship with life. There's so much to do. But living in a world, in a land of opportunity, and number one with mental illness. That's sad. I look at the kids in Africa. Look at the ghetto kids in Africa, right? Dancing barefoot. Happy like. Anyways, it's all about normalizing the frequency of what you want by not being a foreign to it, by continuously allowing it to reside inside your brain, along with as much as especially the opposite version of it, because that's the only way you're able to replace. What was it in psychology? I learned to achieve a new behavior, you have to have a new behavior that is equally strong to replace it. No, I mean stronger, but you're wanting on the new desire should be stronger, right? You have to have an opposite for something. And then they also associated this, since I went to a Christian university, I love it how they associated everything with Bible, right? I forgot the scripture, the verse, but it's Jesus teaching. It's not about ridding of that one demon out of your house when, 30 of them can enter on the other side. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Right? Because you have to have this new behavior, has to be strong. It needs to be a default. So now you don't have to worry about cleaning up as much, because you know you're genuinely in a good relationship with life. And to get to that stage, you have to what? Ask for what you want, understand your interest, right? This is gonna require you to go back as young as possible. But you can even, that's if you can't find out what you want currently. But you have to do the work, and you have to follow what your body's gonna ask you. Like, it's energy upgrade that you're doing. Evolution is basically energy upgrade. We are energy first. We need a positive energy for our organs to work properly, more than the food. We don't need that much food. Our body doesn't even require. That's what I'm learning. 2020 was quite a journey with, I'm sure, a lot of people gained weight just like I did. Right? For me, it was a surprise because my whole life I'm a vegetarian, so I was surprised. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But it turned out I'm actually allergic to sugar, and I didn't know. And I was having dessert on a daily basis. Living in Las Vegas, we were just like, that's all we did. Go after the next pastry, that's whatever is open, right? There was nothing to do 2020 and 2021. But I had to learn, right? Like, your health, you are what you eat, and the Spirit of God reside in our body. So our bodies has to be clean, right? It's all about mind, body, soul connection. That's how you're given the power to manifest what you want. That's how you're given the green light to live the life you want. No matter how silly, and no matter how drastic, no matter how difficult it might sound for others, it's all about how it sounds to you. You need to read Think and Grow Rich, right? A book that turned my life upside down. Just switched 360s. Like, whoa, that was quite a shadow work. But yeah, that book changed my life. The principles we need to learn. Life comes with a manual. Life has principles for human beings, right? If you're not smart enough to learn to mimic nature, you have to go research it through those that found it, right? Some people figured it out. Not everyone find out the truth from books, right? There are people in the country that haven't even went to school. The farmers in the third world, there are people that knows the truth. The truth is everywhere. It exists everywhere. Because it first resides within you. You just have to connect to it. What do you want? What do you love? What do you want in the world? What do you want for yourself? What do you even want for the world? Based on where you're at, wherever you're at in your life, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And associate it from, remind yourself, what you used to like as a kid. And teenagers, is like, come on, man. You're not even that far. You're only 15, 16. You can remember your childhood. You know your interests. You're still in high school. Some of these kids that are committing suicide are like in middle school. Why? Because biology speaks. The body speaks. They're overweight. They look old. Because they spend a lot of time on the screen. The eye needs to stare on nature. You have to be out in nature. It's like, to me, when was it? I think it was last week when I finally decided, yep, I'm right. We were in Utah, right? That's like my second home. Living in Vegas, there's not much nature, right? And every time I go to Utah, the white people, they're like different. It's not like a white people's skin that you see everywhere. Their skin is different. The girls, it's like, they're very gorgeous. They're all like, they look like they're models. They work out, the guys. Like the teenagers, they look good. And I found out, I do modeling, and I found out it's actually one of the big cities in America for modeling agencies. And I was like, wow. Or like where hot models are coming from. I'm like, yo, I see it now. These are like those Russian models. What is it? Is it in Russia? Beautiful women, like everywhere, tall and like models looking. Where the models come from. That's how it feels like in Utah. Their skin is not the same. It's different. They're very relaxed. And I was wondering. I was like, I wonder why. The connection, the connectedness they have with nature. When we go to the park, it's always full. And it's all from, it's going to be like maybe 1 or 2 cars from Vegas. But they're out there with us in the park. Like, we have to be connected, especially the youngins. You have to be connected to nature. What do you want? The answer is within you. Don't associate everything with money. Money comes after you find your way. You know why? Because if money comes before you find your way, you're going to get lost. Why? Because money can buy you, can take you anywhere. So then you're going to go anywhere and spend it on anywhere and on anything. So you're not going to benefit, and money doesn't waste its time. You have to become a valuable person. You have to become significant. What is it? Oprah instilled it in me on my early spiritual awakening days, right? This is when I was watching Super Soul Sunday. I never miss it, every Sunday, especially in 2015, 2016. 2014, 2015. I lost the saying that I was about to share. This is what happened. When you over-explain, what is it that I saw? It's a trauma. I don't know if this is the right place though, because I'm just explaining. Like, I just want people to understand what I understand, because I see what it's doing for me. Like, I'm literally like aging backward. Like, this shit is magic. The truth is everywhere. It's not with the rich people. It's not with the celebrity. It's not with the millionaire. It's not with the one that lives on the top of the mountain. It's everywhere. It's within you. God is within you. Everywhere. God is everywhere. God is not someone or something, this entity that you talk to or you ask for help when something bad happens. God is with you all the time, when you sleep, when you wake up. He's there. It's there. It's a power, right? It's not a he or a she. The more understanding we have, the easier that life becomes, because it's this separation. It's the feeling of separation that makes us as an adult, and that we grow into understanding that, right? Into adulthood. That's why teenagers are like suffocating, because they watch their parents. What is the energy that the parents are emanating? Stress. And they think they're ready to be parents. People don't even understand this. They're walking around like fucking animals. They don't understand that children are like absorbing everything and observing everything. Their energy. You're feeling like shit every time you're around them. So how are they going to become their best? It's like, why do you even have them? You're over-stressing yourself instead of giving birth to yourself. Right? So these children are like growing up, giving up on life. Not even at 16. Right? And it's because coming from this feeling of afraid, fear-based. That is our number one allergy. We don't like fear. Fear is what drives man to everything. What drives man to its distraction, to the drugs, to the everything, to all addiction. It's fear. When you are connected to your source, to your creator, there's this peace that comes. You're just, okay, you become okay with everything. It's like, all right. Who said it? Was it Jim Rohn or Bob Proctor? It all comes down to answering to what is your observation of life? Do you believe we're living in an evil world, or do you believe we live in a good world? I'm not sure who said it. Right? Like, it all comes down to that, because your everyday living is going to be based on your expectation and understanding. And what people need to understand is that it doesn't matter how old you are. We're treating children as if they're in shit, they don't know anything, and then you just like send them to the world. It's like to get eaten by the sharks without giving them the proper tool to protect themselves. Right? Because again, you don't even know it yourself. If man truly understands himself, a woman will know. And it's like, until women takes back their power, the world's not gonna balance. Until a woman knows and understands her power, the power she has on humanity, on evolution, the world is stage is gonna continue. Right? When a woman understands the whole process of pregnancy means something, that she needs to be ready for it, that she needs peace, tranquility, have a good time during pregnancy. If you can't afford that, don't fucking have it. We're not in a shortage of any human beings. Like, stop associating. It's like, oh, you want to reference me the Bible when it comes to this, but you don't fucking know anything about the Bible, though. Any of Jesus Christ's teachings that I'm talking about, you don't want to accept, about manifestation, about trusting. But you want to hit me with, oh, God says reproduce. What the fuck? He produced you. He created you to produce. That's your creation. But you have to choose. You are given, power comes with great responsibility. Giving birth is a responsibility. You're shaping, you are adding into the world, into society. It's like, if you, right, it starts from a healthy family. If the family is not healthy, this kid is already a bully, or he's bullied, which to me, they're all the same. Both being hurt at home. Both neglected love and affection and time. It does something psychologically. We need to understand that. If you can't properly love and understand life, what are you giving to this child? What are you doing? Because you believe giving birth makes you a mother. You just want to be able to say, oh yeah, I have a baby. Because even women, like how they make other women feel if they don't have a child. And like, we are in our 30s. Bitch, please. No one tries it on me though. First of all, they think I'm in my 20s, so they don't even know. But it's like, Right? What? What do you mean? What are you waiting for? Oh my god! Wait, wait, what's the fucking rush? I'm like, ready to take off, like, to a fucking parachute. That's how women feel when they turn 30. It's like, what is happening? I don't get it. What is the weed? It's like, thank God I'm not even doing anything, right? Because I could have blamed it on the weed that I was smoking. I mean, when I was a smoker. But right now, it's like, what am I smoking on? This thing called Beautiful Life. This thing called Source. This thing called Purpose. It's like a different type of air, right? It tastes better. It tastes good. It makes you feel important. Because you are. It makes you feel the right things. Everyone is important. If I'm God's creation, I'm important. And I look at all those I admire. It's because they felt important. That's why they're up there. That's it. That's the key. That's it. That's it. Like, what else? Riches is a feeling. Do you feel rich? Because money's not gonna come to you. I swear, I feel like I'm drunk right now. Drunk of high frequency. But that's what it is. It's all about normalizing. But like, what is your version of riches though? And you can only come to that knowing when you understand what you want. What do you genuinely like? Not what they said, not what society said, parents, school. You genuinely, what do you like? Right? Before I even went with my diapers on, right? There's a picture of me that my dad took that I was holding a newspaper that was covering my whole body at age 3, right? Like, what was I doing? What is that? They say I used to do that like for hours. And guess what? It's true. I grew up. You didn't have to tell me to go read and study. I was always drawn to books. In particular, the encyclopedia letter H that has a page specifically on human body, pages that are made out of this fabric that is like a see-through fabric that every single cell is listed and you can see your body. I was fascinated by that. So what was that? Nobody told me to read that. Right? Like, what used to possess you? Because that's your power. That's literally your power. What did you like as a kid? And a good pen and a sheet of paper mattered to me when we go to for school shopping. And my mom used to be curious, like how I'm choosing a pen, and like people, like adults at the station, they would just look at me how I, like, as a kid, trying the pen, see like how it writes, how it matches. I would open the books. Like my friends, they only cared about the cover being pretty, having the flower, or like I remember there was a time like they started bringing journals with actors on the cover page. I cared more about how the sheet looked inside. I was in particular about pen and paper. Why? What was that? What the fuck was that? Right? And this is like things that I was able to remember with meditation. A lot of it, yeah. And yes, there were like some specific examples that were given to us throughout school, but for me, most of it, 99% of my power comes from meditating, or knowing comes from meditating, or what helped me, or the nutrition, the main thing to help me to to keep going on the road to know thyself is meditation, right? It's like mind, body, soul connection. The more you do that, the more the chemicals are being balanced, right? The more your self is trusting you, and then you're trusting yourself, you're trusting your voice. The voice is becoming more peaceful. You're making more peace with the voice, right? Most are like walking around like enemies within themselves. So it's like you can see it on their face. You can see it about how they make you feel. But most of us are not even aware how we feel. So you're just like reacting both energetically and physically. Right? I'm just now learning, about working with crystals and protecting my energy because I was struggling from energy leakage, right? And there are crystals that help with that. And yeah, it's just a lot when you question what you want and you find it. There's going to be a specific, it's like a river. You know how when peacefully the river would just flow, doesn't matter the concrete, how big the rock is, or how far to the left, to the right, the water would just make its way. And that's how life is. And we're supposed to be like the water. And life is gonna be like the rocks, the up and down, the left, the twist and turn. But we are here to learn to be like water. Why? Because we are vibrational beings first. It's not about the concrete that we are seeing on the physical form, right? You can't fight it. You can't change it from the five senses. Your power is within, from the unseen. That's your inner reality, is what guides the outer reality. Right? That's what children need to learn, so they can start working and understand the energy. You're pissed off, you don't even know it, because you're next to a person that fucking is jealous of you for no goddamn reason, and you ain't even know it. What was that song? You ain't even know it. And then, she ain't even know it. I love that song. But, yeah. I woke up in a new Bugatti. No, that's not the song. Anyways, yeah, we're talking about normalizing the frequency of what we want. I believe I've said enough, so yeah. Oh, 33 minutes. That's Jesus Christ's number.